What about Anmar? Nazanin asked. There's no way she can travel. She's still asleep. Afsar shook her head. Don't worry about Anmar. I'll give her a mixture that will make her strong enough for the journey, strong enough to bear the hardship of the road. Then tomorrow morning, Nazanin said, we will be ready. You have to understand, witches in the society of sorcerers back then were seen as a weaker class. They had no real value, no power. They were easy targets for any sorcerer looking for entertainment. This is when witches began to form something called a coven. A coven usually consisted of 3 witches, or 6 or 9, multiples of 3. And every coven had to have a leader, a witch with a deep history in magic, in the use of talismans, and in dealing with all kinds of jinn and demons. Only then could she even think of forming her own coven. After the murder of Afsar's father, who was a famous and powerful sorcerer, she returned to Persia and lived with her uncle, Moreban. He was also a well-known sorcerer in Persia. Afsar stayed with him until she turned 20. During that time, she learned so much about the arts of magic and sorcery. She dealt with witches and demons of all types and ranks. She learned and absorbed the secrets of the craft, and she learned it all for one single purpose: revenge. Revenge against her father's killer, the last man she saw with her father when they traveled to Arabistan. Her father had taken her with him on that trip to meet an Arab sorcerer named Wasban, to learn a special talisman that only the Arab sorcerers had mastered. After they arrived, they met him in the north of the peninsula, in a place called Hajar. They met in that orchard. And while Afsar was busy playing with Daija, the other sorcerer's daughter, her father fell, drowning in his own blood. Afsar ran to him, collapsed on his body, crying until she passed out. She opened her eyes and found herself on a ship, returning to Persia. With her was an Arab man she had never seen before. He was holding her hand, gripping it tightly as if he was afraid for her, or as if she were a treasure he feared losing. Afsar remembered nothing of the man's features, nothing except a tattoo on the back of his hand: 3 sons. When they reached the shores of Persia, this Arab man gave Afsar to her uncle, Moraban, and from that day on she never saw that man again. From that day on, Afsar waited. She waited for the day she would return to Arabistan to avenge her father. She spent 20 years with her uncle, and after that she decided it was time to begin her journey of revenge. One night she left the house without telling her uncle or the family she lived with. She had to learn real magic now. She had to hone her skills. Her journey would begin in a place called Takht-e Soleyman in the northwest of Persia. Her goal for this journey, for this specific place, was to meet the great sorcerers who had settled there. She wanted to test her abilities, to test what she had learned from her uncle all this time, and to learn new things, because she knew something that everyone in the world at that time knew. Arabistan contained the most powerful, the most brutal sorcerers of all. Afsar arrived at a valley in Takht-e Soleyman by night, searching for the sorcerer's enclave. She finally reached a house made of clay. Outside the house, 3 old men were gathered around a fire they had lit. She approached them and said, "Can any of you show me the way to the master sorcerer?" One of them looked at her. "And who are you to be looking for the master sorcerer?" "I am Afsar," she said, "daughter of Asher." Another of the 3 spoke. "Are you Afsar, the daughter of the sorcerer who was betrayed and murdered in Arabistan?" "Yes," Afsar said, "I am." The first one asked her, "And what do you want with our master?" "My business is with him, not with you." The third man stood up. "Follow me, I will show you the way." Afsar followed him down into the valley until they reached an empty place. He looked her in the eyes and said, "Do you even know what you're asking for?" "Yes, I know exactly what I'm asking for." "Go back," he told her. "Go back where you came from. Your place is not here." Afsar was furious. She threw her belongings, her clothes, her food onto the ground and screamed, "You will take me to the place I told you, or I will kill you right now." The man just smiled. "All right, daughter of Asher, whatever you want." In the blink of an eye, Afsar found herself lifted into the air and slammed into the ground so hard she lost consciousness, her clothes torn to shreds. And as she lay there broken, the sorcerer continued to lift her and slam her into the ground again and again. The other 2 came by. "Aren't you finished with her yet?" one asked. "No," he said. "Not yet. Go on ahead. I'll follow you when I'm done." The man continued to torture her until he got bored. He threw her to the side and went to follow the others. Afsar opened her eyes in the morning to find her bones broken, her wounds bleeding. The scent of blood had attracted predators. A man shouted, chasing the animals away with stones. He approached her, lifted her onto his back, and carried her to his home, which was near the valley. A humble house made of clay and stone. Before Afsar closed her eyes and passed out for a second time, she saw a flock of sheep walking in front of the man. She felt a wave of relief. He was just a shepherd who happened to be passing through. She relaxed and closed her eyes. Afsar woke up to find herself lying in that house, sleeping in the shepherd's bed, covered with a woolen blanket. It was cold in the valley, very cold. Beside her was a pot with a little bit of hot food. She looked around the house for the shepherd, but couldn't find him. She got out of bed and ate what was in the pot to quiet her hunger. She noticed she was wearing his clothes and that her wounds were bandaged. It was clear the shepherd had tended to them. She waited for him, knowing he had gone out to graze his sheep and would return at sunset. And that's what happened. At sunset, the shepherd returned and found Afsar ready to leave, waiting for him outside the house. He approached her. "Why are you out of bed? Your body is covered in wounds. You need to rest." "Thank you for everything you've done for me," Afsar said. "But I have to leave." "And where will you go?" he asked. "I don't know," she said, "but I have to go." "Stay," the shepherd told her. "Rest and tell me what happened to you. Why did you come here? Why are you in this state?" Afsar went back into the house and told him her entire story, from when she was a little girl to the moment she closed her eyes at the bottom of the valley. "The master sorcerer who lives here," she said. "I've heard so much about him, about his strange powers. I came to him to teach me, to prepare me, so I can avenge my father's murder in Arabistan." The shepherd asked her, "Do you even know what this sorcerer you speak of looks like? Or at least his name?" "No," she said, "I don't." "And you think the sorcerers here will just show you his location so easily?" "I don't know," Afsar said. "I just came, without a plan, without anything." "Listen to me carefully," the shepherd said. "I have lived in this valley most of my life, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, what you are looking for is impossible to find." "Why?" Afsar asked. "The sorcerers here form a very powerful coven. The secret to their strength is their ability to remain hidden, to disappear from the eyes of other people and other sorcerers. They do the impossible to make sure no one knows their location, especially their great master. That person is hidden. No one even knows who he is." "But I have to meet him," Afsar said. "I can't go to Arabistan as a weak young witch like this. I have to learn from him. It's necessary." The shepherd was silent. Afsar stood up. "You've done enough for me. I have to try again, to search. Maybe I'll find him, or find someone who can show me the way." "Don't you understand?" the shepherd said. "They will kill you." "I have no other choice," Afsar replied. "Either I avenge my murdered father, or I die trying." "All right," the shepherd said. "I will help you, but on one condition." "Fine. What is it?" "You will stay with me for 5 years. You will work with me herding the sheep. When the 5 years are over, I will send you to a person who will show you the location of the master sorcerer in Takht-e Soleyman." "5 years?" Afsar said. "5 whole years? That's too long." "That is my only condition," the shepherd said. "If you complete the 5 years here with me and you still want to meet the master sorcerer, you will know the way." Afsar, broken, replied, "Fine. I have no other choice. I will stay with you for these 5 years." Afsar completed the first year, working with him, cooking for him, cleaning his house, washing his clothes, doing everything he asked of her. She counted the minutes and the days like a prisoner waiting for the moment of their release. The shepherd would leave early in the morning and not return until the sun was close to setting. He treated her well, but she kept her distance. When he returned in the evening, she would go out to sleep with the sheep in the pen just to be away from him. But as the second year began, you could say a bond started to form. Afsar started to feel something for him, and she began to treat him with kindness. Before the third year, the shepherd asked her to marry him. She hesitated at first, but after a short while, she agreed. As the fourth year began, Afsar stopped. She stopped counting the minutes and the days. She stopped because she felt joy and happiness with this simple shepherd. So much so that the idea of avenging her father, Asher, began to fade from her mind, from her very being. Then one day, The shepherd fell ill, so ill that he was confined to his bed for days, and Afsar had to take over herding the sheep in his place. During this time, Afsar was pregnant with their daughter, Nazim, and her steps were heavy. The sheep were always ahead of her, but it didn't matter. She could let them go out on their own, and they would return home by themselves in the evening. They were used to the path, they just needed someone to watch over them. One time the sheep got ahead of her, and she couldn't keep up. She sat on a rock to rest, waiting for them to return in the evening. She sat there, contemplating nature, thinking about this life, how everything had turned upside down, from avenging her father to a life of stability and peace with this shepherd. And now they were about to welcome a new child. As she was lost in these thoughts, a man appeared from behind her. "Please," he said, "can I find something to eat with you? Days have passed and I've eaten nothing. The hunger is tearing my stomach apart." "And who are you?" Afsar asked. "I am just an ordinary man, a traveler. Circumstances have thrown me here." "Do you live nearby?" Afsar asked him. "No," he said. "I came from a city far, far away. I'm looking for a man. It's crucial that I find him." "And who is this man," she asked, "who made you travel all this distance?" "First, give me something to eat," the man said. "Then we can talk. The hunger is killing me." Afsar said, "I only have a little bread." She opened a bundle, took out a piece of bread, and gave it to him. The man took it, ate it, and then sat down beside her. "I came searching for the master sorcerer of Takht-e Soleyman," he said. "I need him for something important." Afsar, excited, said, "Did you find him? Did you find him?" "I am still searching," he replied, "but I believe I am close." "And how will you know him?" she asked. "From what I know, his name, his face, his description, none of it is known." "Even I don't know much about him," the man said. "But the one who guided me told me he lives here, in this specific region. He lives in a simple house, and he herds sheep." At that moment, Afsar's heart began to pound. She felt nauseous, her face turned pale. The baby inside her felt like it would die from the shock. The man saw this change in her. "What's wrong? What's happening to you? Is it time for you to give birth?" "No," she said, trying to hide the shock. "I'm just tired." "Do you want me to help you with something, to bring you something?" "No, no," she said. "I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I just want to ask you, what else do you know about the master sorcerer?" "Honestly, not much," the man replied. "Just like everyone else who searches for him. He is a strange character, isolated from people. Even his followers don't know much about him. He meets with them from time to time in secret gatherings on the peaks of these mountains." "Okay," Afsar said. "And what do you want from him?" "I want to kill him." "And why do you want to kill him?" "This sorcerer has caused several disasters in our city," he said. "And these disasters will not leave us until he is dead." "And you think killing him will be easy?" Afsar said. "Just meeting him seems impossible. You look like an ordinary, simple man. You won't stand a chance." "I know," the man said, "but I found a way to kill him." Afsar, trying to hide her emotions, asked, "How will you kill him? What is the way?" "If I can meet him face to face," he said, "I will recite a talisman given to me by a great sorcerer in my city, who also has the same goal, to kill the master sorcerer of Takht-e Soleyman. This sorcerer assured me that this talisman is effective and will do the job." "Fine," Afsar said. "Teach me this talisman." "Why do you ask about the talisman? Why do you want it?" "Because I know where this sorcerer lives," Afsar said, "and I will help you kill him." "Is that true? Will you help me kill him? Tell me where he lives." "Just teach me half the talisman," Afsar said. "Teach it to me word by word, and after that I will tell you where this sorcerer lives." "And who is to say you are not lying?" the man asked. "Who is to say you're not one of his servants, or something of that sort?" "That is up to you," Afsar said. "Decide what you want." The man thought for a moment, looking into her eyes, which were filled with tears. "Honestly, I don't know who you are, but I believe we have the same desire to kill this sorcerer." He taught her the talisman. Then she said to him, "Go, return to your city. The master sorcerer will die tonight. There is no need for you to be here. You took the talisman to kill him in my place?" "Yes," Afsar said. "That is what will happen. Just go. Go back where you came from." "I will trust you," the man said. "Do not disappoint me." The man left. Afsar remained where she was, waiting for the sheep. They returned at sunset, and they all headed towards the simple house. She put the sheep in the pen and went inside to her husband, who was still lying in his bed, his condition improving. He welcomed her with a smile. "Why were you so late today? I was worried about you." "I just couldn't walk fast," Afsar said, hanging up a woolen shawl. "I had to stop to rest." "It's all right," he said. "I am starting to feel better. Tomorrow I will go out to graze them." "Fine, whatever you want," Afsar said. "What's wrong?" the shepherd asked. "You look sad, worried. Did something happen? Did someone bother you?" No, she said, on her way to sit beside him. "I'm just tired. My legs hurt." The shepherd began to massage Afsar's legs. "My life without you has no meaning," he said. She looked at him with sad eyes and began to recite that talisman, tears streaming down her face. "What are you saying?" he asked her. "What are you muttering? I don't understand what you're saying." And with the last letter of the talisman, the shepherd fell down, a dead body. Afsar stayed in her place, crying until she fell asleep. In the morning, she got up from the bed. Her husband's body was still there. She stepped over it and went outside. She went to dig a hole to bury him. And as she was digging, the man from yesterday appeared, the man who taught her the talisman. "I didn't know your heart was so cold, daughter of Ashur." "You again?" Afsar said. "I told you to go back where you came from. Why are you here?" "I came to take what I want," the man replied. "I killed the master sorcerer," she said. "I fulfilled your wish. Why are you still here?" The man laughed, a loud, booming laugh. "Did you really believe that this simple shepherd was the master sor?